Aston Villa's incomings haven't been getting enough hype for my liking because potentially replacing Ezri Konsa with Joel Ordoñez, wow. Now when it comes to Joel Ordóñez, you will struggle to find a bigger fan of him than me. You guys can see the message on the screen here where I was talking to one of my boys last summer and I said the Crystal Palace want a centre back, they should be all over him. That wasn't the case. But Aston Villa had the potential chance of signing him. I know Aston Villa are linked with other centre backs, but I'm telling you, Joel Ordoñez has to be Unai Emery and Aston Villa's #1 target because he has all the potential to be one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. Now, I want you guys to look at this graphic here, which looks at his ball recovery numbers. You guys can see his ball recovery numbers are very, very high, averaging over 10 ball recoveries per 90. His counter-pressing recovery numbers are very, very good as well. But that's not the point. I want you guys to look at the pitch graphic on the left-hand side. You guys can see there's a lot of box dominance in terms of his actions, but that middle part of that defensive to middle third is what I want you guys to pay close attention to. We know Unai Emery loves to sit up in that mid block. Those are exactly the zones where Joel Ordóñez thrives on the football pitch. This is a match made in heaven for Aston Villa and Unai Emery. Now, another big positive for Aston Villa if they potentially sign Joel Ordóñez is his physicality and upper body strength. He's 6'2", which is the big positive, and he's very, very strong. You guys can see this graphic on the screen here. He wins over 70% of his defensive duels, which is extremely, extremely high and puts him in the top percentiles of centre-backs in the Belgian Pro League. But another thing that I always look for centre-backs is how their footwork is in terms of how are the distances that they keep between themselves and the attacking player. How are they decelerating? Joel Ordóñez does all of these stuff that I look at a very good level, which is why he could potentially be the perfect Ezri Konsa replacement. Now, another big positive regarding Joel Ordóñez is his ability on the ball. Now, do I think he's an elite ball-playing centre-back? No, but do I still think he's very, very competent in that area? 1000%. Yes. You guys can see the numbers on the screen here. His progressive run numbers are not very high, but that's what you kind of expect of a centre-back. But his progressive passing numbers are very, very good, averaging over 7.57 progressive passes per 90. But one thing I do want to say when you're watching Joel Ordóñez on the ball is that he loves that channel ball out wide. And when you look at the strikers that Aston Villa have, Ollie Watkins, okay, he's going to lead, but he was always very, very good at making that channel run. We've seen glimpses of Brian Maggio also do the exact same thing. These are the people that are going to benefit the most from Joel Ordóñez's ball-playing capabilities. Now, another big positive regarding Joel Ordóñez is his versatility. We know predominantly he's a right centre-back, but he's also had minutes for Ecuador at right back. For example, last year they played Brazil. He done a shift there. But what if I told you he's also played at left centre-back? For example, in November 2019, Ecuador's under-15s faced Chile's under-15s and he played left centre-back and he done it very, very well. That day he won over 80% of his defensive duels. Who's telling you this on YouTube? No one. So make sure you guys like the video for this insane amount of research. Now, hopefully throughout this video, you're slowly starting to get convinced that Joel Ordóñez could potentially be the perfect Ezri Konsa replacement. We've spoken about the mobility, physicality side of things. We've spoken about the versatility side of things, where Ezri Konsa and Joel Ordóñez are very similar. But how do their defensive numbers actually compare? Now, before I show you guys, like I always say, one plays in the Belgium League, one plays in the Premier League. It's not a fair comparison. We're all smart enough. We can all make our, let's say, own judgments and contextualize these numbers how we want. But I'm going to show you guys anyway. You guys can see when it comes to defensive duels, 1%, Joel Ordóñez and Ezri Konsa are not too dissimilar, around the 70 to 75% mark for both of them. Aerial duels again, Joel Ordóñez 52%, Ezri Konsa 57.4%. But one thing you're starting to see is Joel Ordóñez is a lot more aggressive in terms of his defensive duel numbers are higher in terms of volume. Aerial duel numbers are higher in terms of volume. And recovery numbers are higher in terms of volume. He's a lot more of an aggressive, proactive centre-back, you could argue, than Ezri Konsa. Now, their passing numbers are also not too dissimilar. You guys can see the graphic on the screen here. Ordóñez averages 59 passes per 90 minutes, Ezri Konsa 52. Their pass accuracy, again, not too dissimilar. Where there is a bit of a difference is long passes. Ordóñez probably has a bit more range in his passing, averaging 3.65 long passes per 90. Ezri Konsa 2.56. And you guys can see the numbers on the screen there for the rest of the categories. But something that I really want to mention is Aston Villa's incomings have not been bad. In fact, they've been very good. Of course, after the 4-0 defeat to Brighton, everyone's looking at Aston Villa saying they finished, all that nonsense. Aston Villa have gone through a lot of change at once right now in the summer in terms of the amount of players that have left, especially in the core side. But the incomings have been very good. For example, Suzuki for Martinez is the top replacement. Potentially Joel Ordoñez for Ezri Konsa is a very good replacement. Manzambi for Rodgers is a top replacement. Potentially Nicholas Jackson for Ollie Watkins, that's a very good replacement as well. João Gomez for Tielemans. Guys, I'm telling you, Aston Villa fans, you guys have to fight back against all these nonsense that rival fans are speaking right now, because I don't like it, and I'm looking at it from the outside. I think Aston Villa's incomings have been top. We'll see how they do throughout the rest of the season, and we'll see if Aston Villa actually sign Joel Ordoñez, because I really hope they do, because he has all the capabilities of being one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back soon.